Hell, it's starting to look like Candace Owens might not be crazy after all, because Jaguar Wright just seemingly confirmed what Candace has been trying to tell us all along about how Charlie Kirk's passing was sus. Y'all know how Candace Owens has been going on and on about how Charlie was silenced? Well, not only did Jaguar Wright just confirm that, but it looks like she is getting ready to name everybody who planned Charlie's passing. Y'all know that Jaguar does not play, so let's get into her claims. Okay, so y'all already know that Jaguar Wright might tell you a joke, but she's never gonna tell a lie. And when it comes to Charlie, she has been speaking pretty openly about the massive cover-up that's going on. Y'all know how Candace Owens has been calling for the feds to be transparent about their investigation. She was one of the first people to call for this because she got suspicious after the FBI announced that they were taking over the investigation from local police. They released a statement saying, as soon as we heard about the shooting, special agents and personnel from the Salt Lake City field office responded immediately. We have full resources devoted to this investigation, including tactical, operational, investigative, and intelligence. To be clear, the FBI will fully support and co-lead this investigation alongside our partners. At the time, a lot of people thought this was pretty standard. After all, Charlie was a public figure who was connected to the right people in government. Plus, the nature of the crime made it even more likely that the feds would get involved. So when Candace started to go on, fans found it weird and thought that she was doing too much. She tweeted, the feds immediately interjected and took over the case from local police departments. If they had wanted to catch Charlie's killer, they would have immediately publicized all pictures and videos, and the internet would have solved it in minutes. The desire was never there. She also accused the feds of a massive cover-up, saying more people were involved and we need to know whom. A lot of school shootings are related to Discord chats, so there is an underground emerging and we need to know who the directors of it are. She also accused the feds of deliberately sabotaging the case by retweeting this post that said, I guarantee the FBI was in that Discord server and that's why we won't get it before it's been scrubbed. Now, some people have called her an attention seeker, a clout chaser, and even a conspiracy theorist because her claims are kind of wild. From the way people see it, Charlie was close to the president, who kind of sort of has some sort of relationship with the FBI director. So why would they try to bungle the case on purpose? Well, according to Candace, it's because there is allegedly some sort of power play going on behind the scenes. Now, I'm not saying this is true and I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just letting y'all know what Candace and some other people have been saying, so make of that what you will. Anywho, Candace claimed that only a few weeks before Charlie's passing, he had gotten into some kind of trouble with some billionaires who allegedly threatened him. She said Charlie Kirk was fighting with some very powerful billionaires that he took money from over things he was discussing. The pressure on him was immense over the last 2 weeks. The truth will be revealed, the messages will be leaked, and the movement he built will rise up. She also retweeted this post that said Charlie was about to lose his last major donor because he refused to ban Tucker Carlson from events. There are a lot of people shedding crocodile tears. The billionaires must be exposed for the cretins that they are. But she didn't stop at the billionaires alone because she continued to accuse the FBI of being shady. It was reported that the FBI has not ruled out that others may have helped radicalize or aid Charlie Kirk's alleged killer, per bureau sources. Agents are combing through chat logs, dark web activity, and the suspect's affiliations. An FBI official said, we are focused on the radicalization element. The truth will not be hidden or buried or classified. The public will know. No stone should be left unturned. The public deserves answers on WHO radicalized this degenerate, and they must be held accountable. She wasn't having that, and she replied, we know they are lying. If they'd prefer to try another BS narrative before my show, we'll be happy to shred that one too. So it kind of seems like she believes that the FBI might be in cahoots with the billionaires who supposedly took Charlie out. She seems to believe that the FBI is protecting them, and by speaking out and trying to expose them, she has put a massive target on her back. Fans were shook when she didn't attend Charlie's memorial a couple of days ago, but we were even more shook when she revealed that the reason she didn't attend was that she was scared for her life.
I said there is no way we are going to this event now. There's a 0% chance. First and foremost, why are you saying but anybody can go to it? You just buy a ticket to the event, and you're all working to try to get me to confirm that I'm going. And you're doing this as if you're trying to like push my buttons and be like, we got to make her get into her ego so she like shows up and like posts it on social media. Nope, actually, while I'm attacking the feds, maybe not going to a public event, which the feds are organizing, is probably a very good idea. I'm good. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna listen to Power on my headphones and go see Ye. How's that for a memorial for Charlie Kirk? That feels like the right thing for me to do right now.
And to her credit, it didn't take long for people to start believing her because the official stories we got didn't make sense when you think about it. First, there's the fact that the suspect's grandmother claimed that he had never even shot a firearm and had no reason to unalive Charlie. And she said, "My son, his dad, is a Republican for Trump. Most of my family members are Republicans. I don't know any single one who's a Democrat. I'm just so confused. I don't think he ever to tell you the truth. He doesn't hunt. He's never liked anything like that. I know he doesn't own any. There's just no way he could have been that good of a. There's no way he could be violent. There's absolutely no way that he did that. I've watched that child grow up and I can't imagine that it would ever, ever, ever be him. And I'm not just saying that as his grandma, it's just knowing him as I do." But what was even more suspicious were the texts that the feds leaked. The texts were supposedly between Tyler and his roommate, but they looked fake AF. The texts conveniently had him confessing to the crimes and gave everything the feds needed to pin him. He confessed to unaliving Charlie, engraving his bullets, and even the exact spot he left his weapon. But again, people didn't buy it, and everyone started to wonder if Candace might have been right all along because the math just wasn't mathing. It was at this point that Jaguar Wright entered the chat, and boy, did she have a lot to say. On an episode of her podcast show, she backed Candace up, claiming that there was a lot of information that the feds are hiding from us. And according to her, it has nothing to do with protecting the integrity of the investigation, but instead protecting the powerful people who might have had something to do with Charlie's passing.
It's clear we're not getting all the information. It's clear something's off here. The first person, the old man, I don't even know why he was grabbed, but he was grabbed and his picture was fundled out. And then there was someone else who was a person of interest. And that didn't work. And then we got this guy. He had a bulletproof vest that might have caught the exit. Really? That's interesting. That's definitely an interesting point of view. But what kind of bulletproof vest are you talking about? Because usually bulletproof vests, they cover your front, they cover your back. There's points of vulnerability on the sides usually. I haven't seen too many. I mean, was he wearing like hardcore Kevlar? Like fully body casted? That's wild. Nobody mentioned that yet. Military grade. He was wearing military grade. I don't know. It's funny. Seems like they might have mentioned that.
But wait, there's more. She also had a guest on her show who made some pretty interesting points.
But I don't want to even get into the whole thing with the GUN being dismantled, the guy jumping off of the roof without the, weapon. This whole thing looks fishy. And that's why I said, I always say this. I say, I'd rather get all the information first, then make a comment. But yeah, it's just real fishy. Of course. They say
We have a right to question the validity of it. And it's got to pass the smell test. There's something wrong with all of this. And everyone is starting to pick it out piece by piece, thread by thread. Everyone is starting to see something's wrong here. The question is, Why?
And that's a really good question, because if the feds are really protecting the billionaires like she and Candace are saying, then it's bad. It's real bad. But now I want to know what you think about this. Do you think that there really is a conspiracy here? Or do you think that Candace and Jaguar are doing too much? Drop your thoughts in the comments and check out this next video.